Good afternoon, friends. So, after a frankly nightmarish journey, but in a really easy border, I'm in Saint Louis in Senegal, and I'm in a tiny bar, and thank fuck I have cold beer for the first time in 7 weeks. Yeah. Oh, fuck yes. The pale sun rises. A pale sun rises. Morning, friends. I am really quite hungover, but still. Okay, so right there, you can see a minaret. Last night, and I appreciate, of course, that it is the last few days, the last week of Ramadan, which is a very special time. Today is the 23rd of March, and the night of power is the 27th this year. I get that. But that minaret, last night, there was an incredibly tinny loudspeaker and a very nasal muezzin last night who called out Allahu Akbar, God is great, every 10 seconds for an hour. I'm not complaining much. Anyway. Good evening, friends. Welcome to Saint Louis, which is the second city of Senegal. And I tell you, there are some similarities with the lower parts of Mauritania, no shots, brightly coloured fishing boats with a similar design, but it's a whole different vibe. There's even this thing. It reminds me of when I crossed from Vietnam into Laos and the sky seemed to change colour. It's like that because the sun is still high,
but it's so hazy and the sun is so pale here. It's fascinating. Anyway, Saint Louis is a bustling city. It's at the mouth of the river Senegal, which is a very large river, and I'm currently walking on, hold on, yes, inadvertently walking straight into the middle of a street football game there. Like I say, whole different vibe. And thank Hera that they have alcohol in this country. So I woke up this morning with a little bit of a hangover. It's Monday. It's Monday, I worked today. And then immediately upon finishing work, left my very nice accommodation and came out for a walk. Now, so Saint Louis is mostly on the mainland, with the river Senegal, the mouth of the Senegal River. And there's a very strange geological thing where I'll have to put a screenshot as part of this video, because you have the mainland, then you have a small island, then you have an incredibly long, thin spit, I suppose you'd call it. It's only about 100 meters wide, but it goes from north to south, and it ends just south of where I am. But it's got to be 50 miles long. It's crazy for a very thin spittle peninsula, if you like. That's the part I'm currently on, and I'm just about to cross over that bridge back to the island, and then cross over another bridge back to the mainland. Yeah. So I stopped off in a restaurant that I had researched, La Longuière, and had an amazing yassa chicken. Wednesday. I tell you, I am a hit with the kids. I always am, of course, but the kids here, and there seem to be so many of them, and I'm such a novelty. Okay, bonjour. I have said hello in French to about 1,000 children today, which is always fun. It's a nice place. Anyway, Senegalese cuisine. There's joffi rice, which is a West African staple, but it was actually created in this city. Yassa chicken, that was amazing, really, really good. And to be able to eat in the middle of the day at a restaurant is a novelty. Though to be fair, the hostel I was staying at in Nouakchott was run by a French man, and they did have food during the day. So, but yeah, so as I say, I am walking back and buy myself some beer. Also, whereas Mauritania it seemed to be fairly equal parts, go that way actually, fairly equal parts West African and North African ethnicity, if that makes sense, and with a fairly considerable divide between the two. All of the business owners seem to be of Arabic descent, and all of the manual workers and so forth were of African descent, which was actually a little depressing. But everyone here is so pretty. I feel like a walking lump of beige, really. But yes, and of course there is a very serious amount of extreme poverty. This is Africa. But Senegal is predominantly Muslim. I mean, there is a spread, but it's predominantly Muslim, and so a great deal of the population is still are dealing with the last few days of Ramadan. I believe the Eid is on Sunday. But there are quite a few Christians as well, and so it has a kind of easygoing feeling. Have I got turned around here? No. One interesting thing, when I was researching, looking for a really kick-ass place to eat Senegalese food, I came across La Longuière, which is the francophone spelling of a very old Senegalese word, and it translates to honoured sister kind of thing. One thing that I found very interesting was that traditionally, way before colonialization, literally before the spread of Islam, it was considered for a king or a queen that they had to have both the patrilineal and the matrilineal line of nobility, and La Longuière was the feminine line. So essentially both your mother and your father's families had to be able to trace their nobility way back when, which tacitly and implicitly gave women really quite a lot of power. And I've already seen one mama-san, as it were, in the bar I hit as soon as I arrived, who took a piece out of the guy who was berating her adult son, finger wagging and yelling and everything. That is something I have not seen in months. It's not a particularly Muslim thing. But the juxtaposition of Islam and its, the division between the sexes, and that tribal attitude that is still prevalent today is very interesting. Anyway, there are so many horses and carts here. So many. Some for transportation, like that, and some for, if you like, industry, so load carrying and that sort of thing. But there are so many horses